Welcome to African American History Lesson 40. In this video, we will explore white supremacist violence and the Red Summer. At the dawn of the 20th century, Black Americans continued their pursuit of civil rights and economic independence. However, they faced escalating waves of white supremacist violence. Between 1917 and 1923, racial tensions intensified due to economic competition, the Great Migration, and Black veterans returning from World War I, who demanded dignity and equality. These factors converged during the Red Summer of 1919, when dozens of cities erupted into racial terror, including deadly attacks on Black communities in Chicago, Washington, D.C., Knoxville, Tennessee, and Elaine, Arkansas. From 1917 to 1921, white supremacist attacks surged across the United States, culminating in the infamous Red Summer of 1919. This period was marked by widespread racial violence initiated by white mobs targeting African American communities in over 30 cities, including Chicago, Washington, D.C., Elaine, Arkansas, and Knoxville, Tennessee. These attacks were often ignored or enabled by local authorities, laying bare the violent resistance to Black progress in the early 20th century. The Red Summer was fueled by a volatile combination of the post-World War I recession, a deadly global influenza pandemic, and increased racial hostility toward Black veterans returning from the war. Many white Americans perceived Black economic advancements and social demands as threats, leading to intensified racial hatred and the justification of violence under the guise of protecting order. In 1921, the Tulsa Race Massacre became one of the most devastating acts of racial terror in U.S. history. Sparked by a false accusation, white mobs, who were aided by law enforcement and even aerial attacks, destroyed the prosperous Greenwood District, known as Black Wall Street. They killed hundreds and erased a thriving Black economic hub in a matter of days. White supremacist violence in this era did more than destroy lives. It robbed generations of African Americans of property, wealth, and opportunity. The targeted destruction of Black neighborhoods, homes, and businesses contributed to a long-lasting racial wealth gap and diminished the ability of many families to accumulate and pass down generational assets. African Americans met white supremacist violence with resilience and resistance. From self-defense groups in cities like Chicago to journalists like Ida B. Wells exposing racial terror, Black communities responded through armed defense, protest, and the written word. These acts of resistance challenged the myth of Black passivity and helped lay the groundwork for future civil rights movements. Facing relentless racial violence, political disenfranchisement, and economic exploitation in the South, many African Americans began relocating to cities in the North and West during the Great Migration. This mass movement reshaped Black life in America. It spurred the development of new cultural, political, and economic centers across the country and offered a form of resistance through geographic and community reinvention. Claude McKay's 1919 poem, If We Must Die, emerged as a defiant literary response to the racial violence of the Red Summer. Written in the wake of widespread white supremacist attacks on Black communities, McKay's sonnet captures the courage, dignity, and unyielding resistance of African Americans determined to fight back. The poem stands as one of the earliest and most powerful examples of radical Black literary resistance in the 20th century. If We Must Die, by Claude McKay. If we must die, let it not be like hogs hunted and penned in an inglorious spot, while round us bark the mad and hungry dogs, making their mock at our accursed lot. If we must die, oh, let us nobly die, so that our precious blood may not be shed in vain. Then even the monsters we defy shall be constrained to honor us though dead. O kinsmen, we must meet the common foe. Though far outnumbered, let us still be brave, and for their 1,000 blows, deal one death blow. What though before us lies the open grave? Like men we'll face the murderous, cowardly pack, pressed to the wall, dying, but fighting back. Claude McKay's defiant poem, If We Must Die, 1919, captured the determination of African Americans to confront brutality with courage. The poem reflected a spirit that resonated through the images of the Greenwood District in flames, of Black men with hands raised, and of shattered homes and dreams. These primary sources not only bear witness to the violence, but also to the resilience and humanity of a people who refuse to surrender their right to live, build, and thrive. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Also, please follow us on the social media platforms listed on the screen.